Can anyone hear me? I don't know what's going on here. What the hell? Hold on, guys. So I put in the comment, whoever's watching. I put in the comment, let me know if you can hear me. Sorry guys, I'm fixing some settings here. Yeah, it says my blit rate is not too good, so I have to fix some settings. So hold on a minute. Alrighty, so we'll get started and stuff like that. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm trying the best I can to set up this microphone. So, all right. So, I want to welcome you guys. Let's whoever's on, whoever's watching. All right. So, hold on. Sorry, I've been setting up things. Plus, it's been hot in this room, and it's raining outside, and I can't leave my windows open because then the rain will come in on the blinds. But let me know if you can hear the volume. If not, I might just switch out the microphone for one that I can pin up to my shirt. So I know I said this before. I got lazy on it. I was gonna start a series of okay, so on my YouTube channel I thought I would start a series basically where I would play racing games, and I was gonna do Assetto Corsa, but one of the races I didn't mean to go so long. I meant to just do like it was a race I had set up where I would race some, different tracks with the same car, and all the same cars going around the track. Or here, let me re-say the whole thing. So I was gonna do Assetto Corsa, and what I was gonna do was a Fiat 500 championship race where I would go through different tracks and different tracks, all with the same amount of laps, and the opponents would be the same. But that didn't go so well. Then I just did other videos. And then I just kept doing other things in life. But one of the games that I've also had on my computer is RFactor 2. Now, I'm going to talk about RFactor 2 a bit before I get into what I'm going to be doing with this game. So, I know that nobody knows this. I mean, my friends do. I mean, family does. But I am someone who is big into racing. Biohazard Candy Kid is big into racing. Cars, automobiles, anything. I mean, anything. Like trains, planes, boats, motorcycles, cars, trucks, vans, and you name it. Not because I was born in the modern era and I wasn't born in 1432. I like horses. You know, I like racing. I like race horses. I like to see dog races. I just like racing in general. It's something that humans love. Okay? And I'm gonna start talking from this angle, from this side of the wall. Why? Because I think this is a proper way to go. Actually, it's not what I think. It is the proper way to go. Because racing has been a part of the human race forever. We first started running and competing against each other. And whoever crossed the finish line first won. Even if you didn't come in first, you still won. You know, against yourself. You know, you won against the time, you won against whatever. You know, you always beat someone or something, you know. I'm not saying everybody's a winner. I'm not speaking to that whole philosophy of everybody's a winner, everything's the same, similitude. No. But you know, you might not come in first place, but you come in second. You beat the guy who came in third. You come in 10th. You beat the guy who came in 20th. You know what I mean? Or you beat maybe your own record. You know, you got 1 minute, and then the next one you got 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So you beat your previous time. You beat your record. Maybe you were, 20 miles an hour, and then the next time you were 50 miles an hour, and you were faster. So you beat your speed. So the thing is racing has been a part of humans forever. God. Sí. Yeah, beto. Because God basically has, he's put that out there, and he's like, it's one of the things that he has given to man. It's one of the things that man has grabbed, that God has created, if you understand what I'm saying. And stuff like that. So basically, I love racing. And when it comes to automobiles, like, racing is it. Mechanics is it. Going faster lap times, beating whoever you're trying to beat. Getting in first place or second, or you're in 20th and you're trying to get in 10th, You see, there's a whole world out there that's like, oh, it has to be first place. It has to be the best of the best. If it's not first place, if it's not the best of the best, it sucks. It's just bullshit. Don't even get into it. Don't watch it. Nothing. And I used to be like that when I was a kid. For a few years. But then I grew out of that and said, you know what? Just be the best that you can be at that time, and then improve off of that. Just get better with time. You don't always have to come in first. You don't always have to come in 10th, if you know what I'm saying. But if you got around the track, if you were driving, if you experienced the whole thing and you felt happy and you got the euphoria and you basically enjoyed everything and you came in 5th place, that's all that matters. I mean, sure, first place matters because, your team, your manager and all that, but hey, would I be satisfied? Would I be unsatisfied if you got in 10th place? Not really. I wouldn't be too angry. I would be like, okay, you came in 10th place. Let's do better next time. I know you can do better. I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, you're shit. This and that. Negativity doesn't need to be there. I mean, I'll tell you where you screwed up on, but I'm not going to be an asshole. I'm not going to be Satan. I'm not going to be the devil. I'm not going to be an evil person who just belittles you and who brings you down. I'm going to give you constructive criticism is what I'm going to give you. So, racing now in this day and age is very different from when I grew up in the 90s, from when my brother grew up in the 70s and 80s and 90s, from when my parents grew up. It's very different. Because racing today is basically a whole bunch of electronics. And now there's Formula E. And not just Formula E, but now there's, which I've actually seen Formula E. I haven't seen it in person. Like, I could hear the cars going around the track, but I couldn't see anything. Because, well, in Uruguay, we didn't get there in time. I think we had tickets or something. I can't remember. But we just didn't get there in time, so we were just outside the walls of the whole event. But I can hear the cars going around. I think it's shit. I don't like electric cars at all. I don't care how you spin it. I don't even like hybrids. But I like them a little more than electrics because I like the Toyota Prius. But I grew up at a time where racing was still raw, where the cars were still raw. And what I mean by raw is the cars didn't have a bunch of electronics. The cars were not some robotic car. They weren't electric cars. It wasn't like today. Like you get into a new I'm just looking at the screen here, but you get into like this new BMW, the Formula One cars of today. And they're just, they got all these driver's assist and all that. You basically put any new modern driver up against Ayrton Senna and Alan Prost and Michael Schumacher and even some of the guys from the 50s. These new, you put them up against them in the cars of the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, and 90s. These new cats, they will fail. Sure, they could drive a car, but they will fail. Because they were born at a time where, what's his name? Max Verstappen. He uses a bunch of electronic assist. So, therefore, without that shit, he wouldn't know how to control the car. He wouldn't know how to handle the car and stuff like that. It's like the new generations all over the planet who don't know how to drive a manual. And when you give them a manual and they start driving, they wouldn't know how to control the car. And they wouldn't even know that if your car fails, you can actually put it into a gear, and then you can have someone push it. You charge up your battery if it's dead, put it, and then if something else fails, you put it into gear and then have someone push it, and then you can get that car started. In an automatic, you can't do that. And in a hybrid or electric car, you're fucking screwed. You can't jumpstart hybrids or electrics. They're not even automatics. Some of them now have driver-assisted stuff, and the Teslas are even worse. The Teslas, the Lucid Airs, the Rivians, the Chinese vehicles that are all electric, and others, they all basically have AI systems. So racing today is very different. And hey, I still like racing, but it sucks today. And I'm talking about the big major players. If you go to like dirt track racing, you go to like small time stuff, the cars are actually simple. They don't have a bunch of electronics in there. Maybe the only thing they have is maybe like stability control, but that's about it. But they're still the old school, like, kind of cars. They might be new and modern, you know, but they're stripped. They're stripped down to where they only have, you know, they're just 4 wheels and an engine with a manual transmission or an automatic transmission, and at best, like I said, one driver assist thing. One. Like it was in the 80s. In the 80s, even Le Mans cars, like early 80s, they didn't have too much, you know, electronics in there, driver assistance. They were still kind of raw, even in the 90s, as a matter of fact. It wasn't really until the 2000s that you started to see a bunch of electronics come in, and, you know, late 90s, early 2000s. Well, I should say middle to late 90s to early to mid 2000s. So I've followed racing my whole entire life. I've researched the history of racing when it comes to automobiles, motorcycles, trucks, planes, trains, you know, anything from 1800 and on. And also I've researched Olympic racing and horse racing and all that, whatever. But when it comes to modern day stuff, I would say 1800s on, I've researched so much of it. I'll get this right off the bat. If you're going to ask who my favorite driver of all time is, I have a few. But my very first one is Ayrton Senna. I was 4 years old when he died. And it was a very, very tragic loss in the world of motorsports. Motorsports lost the greatest driver to ever live. I mean, Dan Gurney's great. I mean, there's guys from the 1930s that are great. But Ayrton Senna was doing things that nobody had done before him or after him. Still till this day, there isn't a motorsports driver that's like Ayrton Senna. Unless you want to count Colin McRae. But Ayrton Senna just, what he did on the track was ridiculous. So, basically, sorry I'm going on too long, but I want to get this point across, and I want to get to a point. There's a point I'm getting to. So, I forgot the name, but it's a Japanese MotoGP rider who died. He was young. He died in, like, I think the 2000s, like the late 2000s, like, oh gosh. I can't remember, but he was just like Ayrton Senna, but of the MotoGP world. But because he died young, he didn't, like, because he was already doing things that Ayrton Senna was doing at a young age. And if he didn't die, oh my gosh, there wouldn't be another MotoGP rider like him for another 30 years. No joke. Do I like any of the new drivers? I mean, I don't know too many race car drivers these days, because I don't, like I said, today's racing is different, and I haven't really followed it too much. I mean, I know there's Max Verstappen, that's one guy I know of. There's, what's the other guy? I forgot his name now. But, I mean, Michael Schumacher's great. Dale Earnhardt, Richard Petty. You know, I wasn't alive when Richard Petty was racing, but he's another one of my favorites. I mean, he raced for the best team ever, Dodge. I mean, there's a lot of good Jeff Gordon. I mean, Jeff Gordon was my favorite NASCAR driver of all time, and he still is. And NASCAR was shit after 1972 when it was no longer stock cars. It was just, they started adding rules and regulations and, the oil crisis and all that. And by the 90s, nah. Yeah, it wasn't even NASCAR anymore. It was a totally different thing. But Jeff Gordon was one of the greatest. He was great. I mean, he was awesome. So, going off of that, I've always played racing games. I've played so many racing games in my whole entire life, it's ridiculous. I own a bunch of racing games. From Super Nintendo to Nintendo 64, to PlayStation, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PC, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, PSP, Game Boy Advance, Advance SP. I played a bunch of arcade racing games. I've played so many racing games. It's no joke. Am I good at racing games? Okay, do I like to think that I'm good at racing games? Well, I'll put it to you this way. I'm okay at racing games. I'm not the greatest in the world, but I'm not the shittiest in the world. I'm okay. Am I right in the middle? The lower middle. I still got a long ways to go to be top tier for myself. Like, I'm not trying to be the Max Verstappen of racing games, racing video games. I mean, okay, not that I'm not trying to be, but you get my point. Like, I do this for enjoyment, but I also practice. I try to get good. I try to have a good race, drive really good, race really good, try to at least come in the top 5 or top 10 out of, however many cars are out there. So what I want to do is I want to do a series with RFactor. Now, before I get to that, I love RFactor. RFactor 2, I think, is the greatest racing game to ever come out since Gran Turismo 2 and Gran Turismo 4. Basically, since Gran Turismo. I'm going to go into detail one of these days about this game. But RFactor 2 is the greatest racing game ever since Gran Turismo. It's basically the Gran Turismo of PC, but it's also like the Gran Turismo if it was full-on simulation and not simcade, and they focused on realism, and they had a Steam Workshop, and they had a bunch of cars and tracks that you can add well beyond 2,000 and 2,000 cars and 50 tracks. Because Gran Turismo 4 was huge when it came out. I own it. It's the biggest Gran Turismo of all time, like one of them. Number 5 is huge. And number 6 is good. After 6, they've all been shit. So if you want a real good racing game, get a PC, get RFactor 2, get Assetto Corsa, get the old Dirt series, and the old, like the Dirt 3, 4, 1 and 2, and get the Dirt Rally series. But RFactor 2, oh my god, it's a beast. So, what I plan to do with this game is I plan to do a bunch of single-player stuff. Online, maybe, in the future, once I get really good at this game. So I already have a thing selected. So here's how I'm going to start this. Here's how we're going to do this. And I'm going to try to do a video maybe every day, I don't know. so you can see my progression day by day. I have no idea. Maybe twice a week, if I can. So, quick event, right? Now, actually, let me start this way. Settings. Here's gameplay. I do have traction control on. Stability control is low. I do have auto shifting on. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna let you know my setup. So I used to use arcade wheels when I was at the arcades. When I owned consoles, I didn't really own a wheel. Like, I had friends who owned wheels, and I got to use theirs on their consoles, like the PlayStation, Xbox, you know? But I never owned my own wheel. So I always used a controller, and I did pretty well for Gran Turismo and Need for Speed and a whole bunch of other racing games, on the PlayStation. And even on the PCs, I just used a racing wheel or the mouse and keyboard. And I did pretty well, So, one year I was like, well, I'm getting a wheel. And a buddy of mine, one of my coworkers, he had one that he only used for 2 years. But he barely used it. The only thing that broke was the bottom portion which allowed you to tighten it to your desk. So all I had to do was buy a screw that would fit in the hole. And it was the Thrustmaster T150, and I was looking to buy one of those. And so he said, hey, why don't you give me $65 or $60, whatever I paid, $70, and you can have it. I'll have my buddy send it to me. Basically my other coworker lived with him, and he told me I'll have him bring it over to work. So that's what I did, and it came with the pedals, the 2-pedal setup, and it came with the wheel, and the whole wheel apparatus, and it has paddle shifters. Now, I like Thrustmaster. I don't have a problem with their products. I like this wheel. The T150 I think is great for anybody. As a matter of fact, the T150 works with your PC, PlayStation 3, PS4, and then there's the Xbox version, which works with the Xbox 360, Xbox One, and then the PC. So there's 2 variants. There's the PlayStation PC version and the Xbox PC version. And it works really well. The force feedback is great. It's not $1,000 setup, but hey, you can buy these new. They are going to replace them because Thrustmaster has a new wheel coming out that's going to replace it, which kind of sucks because this one has been out for so long, but it's a really good wheel. And what they should have done is just upgraded this baby, made a few minor adjustments instead of creating a whole new wheel. But this sells for almost $200. It's like $160. I can't remember the price, but it sells for almost $200. And you get force feedback. You get a whole bunch of other things. You can actually download there's a thing you can download on your computer to make this, like, to fine tune things if you want to. It works with a bunch of games. And it's easy to set up with a bunch of games. Like RFactor 2, it just sets up right away. Like, it's not that you press a button and then everything's great. It just tells you steer left, steer right, press your which is going to be your brake, which is going to be your throttle. What's your upshift, downshift. You can add an H shifter to this. I can actually buy one if I wanted to. And you can get a 3-pedal setup where it comes with the clutch pedal, and stuff like that. I know some people attach their clutch pedal, like in the settings, their button, instead of using the pedal, they use a button. you know. In the clutch pedal settings, they press a button instead of the actual clutch on the bottom. I have it set to a button. That's because I don't have a clutch pedal. But I do have paddle shifters. So that's what I'm running. Do I care to get another racing wheel? No, I don't. Am I going to get, and when I say do I care right now? No, I'm going to use this racing wheel until it blows up. Once it blows up, then I will get a new racing wheel, and by then, those new racing wheels will be light years ahead. Or maybe I'll get one used again, or maybe I'll get, I don't know, whatever. So I have all my settings set. Graphics are at the max. There's some things that are not. Okay. So all this is good. You know, I left this alone. The only thing I turned up was the spotter volume to about like 40. Just because he was at like 15 or something. So single player. Now, I want to let you guys know I don't have anything from the store. I don't have all this stuff. My store is empty. I never bought anything from here. But what I do have is a bunch of extra content. So, and I'll get to that in a minute. Well, actually, let's get to it now. So, I have a lot of tracks. I have all the stuff that comes with RFactor 2, made by the RFactor 2 studio, you know. And when it comes to cars, I have so many cars that is ridiculous. I have the RFactor 2 cars, and then I have the stuff from the Steam Workshop. Now, what you see here, okay, is the Fiat 500 Abarth edition, okay? Abarth. And, or Abarth, as we say here in the United States. It's funny. It's from Assetto Corsa. Someone ripped the one from Assetto Corsa and put it in here. I kind of figured because I remember Assetto Corsa. So here's the car. Now, what basically okay? So why do I have this car? Why is it here? Why are you seeing this? Simply because this is how I'm going to start out. I'm going to start out with a small car that's easy to drive, that's slow, that's, you know, it's a race car, but it's like a cup car. It's, you know, I'm going to just do these ones. I have the other ones too, but I'm going to stick with just the 500 AC. Okay. And then what I'm going to do, crap, I keep going. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose Silverstone National Road Course. I'm not going to choose the International Road Course or the Endurance or all that just yet. Let's see. I don't think this game has, let's see. It has all this, but it doesn't have that thing where you can make events. Like, yeah, it doesn't have that. So it's basically like you just set all this. Why is AI strength at 75? I want it at 70. Okay. And then practice on. The music in this game is just awesome. It's just one song, but you know, this game was like okay. The reason why this is like the greatest game is because until there's something that beats it. But the reason why it's the greatest is because this was a true simulator. This simulated so much stuff. The rain, the tires, like everything. There was nothing like it before it. And there's nothing like it after it. I mean, of course there's BeamNG, but that's not even this. BeamNG is just a crash simulator. People think BeamNG will change the way racing games are made, but I mean, we're not even there yet. So I want to do this race now. Oops. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a set of races on different tracks, using that Fiat 500, and as you can see, I'm number 42 up here. Okay. I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm not going to customize the car. When I get into the race, I might, you know, tweak the settings of the suspension and all that. I'm no good at that, but I'll learn. Okay. So practice is on. Warm-up is on. Race is on. Qualifying is on. Time scale is normal. Weather preset is scripted. AI drivers is 9. And then let's see here. Okay. So 1 p.m. 9:30 a.m. That's not bad. Let's see if this is 1 p.m. Here. We'll do 10. This is qualifying, so we'll do. Oh. 12 a.m. Oh, 1 p.m. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll leave this here, 9 a.m. Okay. Okay. So if we're going to do this, I don't want it to be 120. That's 1 hour. And I'm not going for an hour. Okay, 15 minutes is fine. We'll have private practice on, actually. That way, I don't have the other cars there, and... Well, then it's not realistic. Okay, private practice off. Again, 15 to qualify, and we'll go 10 laps. Yeah, let's do 15 laps. All right. So what we have here is we have practice time. 15 minutes. We have oh. Okay. Okay, qualifying time. So qualifying laps is 3. All right. That's why. Okay. So actually, let's make it 30. Let's do 20. And then, so okay, 20. Private practice off. And we'll leave it like this. And then it goes from there to there. The weather changes. It goes from there to there. And then from there to there. So, alright. So let's do it. I hope I do well. I've already practiced on this track before. But with the same car before I set up this live stream, but yeah, let's hope I do well. So I hope you enjoy these videos, because I'm gonna make a lot of them. Alrighty, let's get to it. And I think that's one of the coolest loading screens ever. A racetrack, and the track that you actually race on. Let me know if you can hear the audio just fine, especially of the game.
was a 119.89.
Always for that turn, right?
The lap was a 1:33.07. That was a 1:16.18. The lap was a 1:16.96. 119.02. That was a 129.67.
Sorry, I meant to go in the pits. But that's alright. It'll be more practice. Tell me about it. Wow, let's set a good time. That was not good. This is bad. Well, at least you get to see how bad I'm doing.
is a 116.22.
How am I disqualified? What the heck? Wow, this is shit. Oh, because I did 3 laps. I mean, I did an extra lap. Oh, God. I think I'll just leave it there for tonight. I mean, I'll do another one a different day. At least you get to see something. I was disqualified. I'll redo this race another time. I'm gonna reset the settings though, so the cars are a little bit harder, not too much. And then I'm going to also set the time of the practice a little shorter, maybe 10 minutes. That way you guys don't have to see a long practice. Other than that, I'm gonna set it at 10 minutes. And then 120 is ridiculous for 3. I think I can do 30 minutes, maybe 20. Now let's try for 30. And the race will be 15 laps. So, what this game doesn't have, and what you just saw, was where it doesn't, okay, in Assetto Corsa, or Gran Turismo, or Forza Motorsports, a bunch of other racing games, I mean, there's a lot of racing games like this one, but when you do a practice lap, or a qualifying lap, in this game, you basically have to go into the pits yourself. The other ones, you don't. Once you cross the finish line, it says finished, and then it goes to the next session. So right when it's the last qualifying lap, I have to go into the pits. I screwed up. That was my fault. So I'm just letting you know that. That's what happened. And you saw how I spun out a lot. I have a lot of ways to go. And this isn't a Assetto Corsa, which is a little bit easier, even if you turn on realistic mode. Like all the realism settings. This is still much harder than it looks. And a lot of people will say, well, iRacing is the pinnacle of games. Are you sure about that? Like, you know, they'll say that's the pinnacle of driving games. That's like the ultimate driving game, just like the ultimate driving machine. They say is BMW or Mercedes, which is bullshit. The ultimate driving machine is a Honda Civic from any era, especially 95. It is my favorite, but that's not why I'm saying that. Just trust me on this. You drive a Honda Civic, you're driving the best car on the planet. But this game is the Honda Civic of video games. It's simple, as in simple design. You know, I know that they changed the game a bit from what it used to be, because people hated it because they said, oh, I can't figure out this mess. I did. I had no issues with it. I know what the studio was trying to go for. They didn't want to look like every other racing game out there. They wanted to do their own thing. So then they came out with a modern menu screen, which was simple in design. All of the settings, they're not complex. They look complex, but they're not. They're easy. You can set them up easily. So I just want to say that I'm going to really try hard at this game. I'll still do Assetto Corsa videos, but this one's going to be my real, like, go-to, you know, game. I have a lot of cars in here that I'm going to be driving. I'm going to rank up, though. I'm not just going to go from here to a Ferrari in 2 weeks. You see what I'm saying? Not that it can't be done. Not that I can't do that. I can. But I'm going to basically really improve. Today was trial and error. Today was it was what it was. I mean, if I had to... Okay, it was shit. I mean, it was okay, but it was shit. You know what I mean? I did okay. So, yeah, I did about a 2 from 0 to 10. I did about a 2 or a 3. And so, yeah, I hope you enjoyed my videos. I mean, I don't post that much. I mean, I want to, but I just, I, well, I post, but not as much as other people do. So, I'm gonna do one tomorrow. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. And we'll go from there. Alrighty, guys. I'm going to, watch some videos, and then go to bed. Watch a movie and go to bed. I hope you guys enjoy this content. Like, subscribe, share. I mean, I don't really care about that. That's not what I'm about. I'm just here about creating content and just for you guys to chat on here. You know, leave comments. Let's talk about things. And stuff like that. And then, yeah. I mean, if you have any requests, I mean, of a video game I should play that I own, like, or okay, you don't know what I own, but I have a bunch of video games that I'll start doing videos of. I got other things I want to do videos on. I'm still trying to figure out a situation for my short films that I want to produce. So yeah, let me get to my other stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. It's been a pleasure driving. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys. I mean, I'm not really hanging out with you because you're not in the room, but it's been a pleasure having you guys watch my videos. Oh, like I will always say, make the world a better place. Please go outside. Don't just sit in front of the computer like I did tonight, all the time, and just, you know, or sit in front of the TV. Actually go outside and do stuff. Like I play disc golf. I ride bikes. I go outside and do things, you know, even gardening and stuff like that. Please. The TV, the computer, the cell phone, the radio, that's not life. I mean, okay, if you want to go outside and listen to music while you're riding a bike, gardening, playing disc golf, I get that. But go do something else other than sit in front of the TV or the computer all day. And just, you know, I don't know, watch a movie, play games, research stuff. I mean, you can read books. I mean, just don't be inside all day is what I'm saying. Go outside. Do the opposite of what the devil tells you. Satan tells you to stay inside. Satan tells you it's all about the singularity. Well, you do the opposite. You reverse everything. As well as stay inside sometimes and play your video games, watch your movies, do your research, read a book, cook. But we need to be outside more, go camping, hug each other, kiss each other, love each other. There's no such thing as the coronavirus. There's no such thing as all this bullshit that they tell you, from books to newspapers to the internet to the TV, the radio, to your friends and family and politicians and people around the world. It doesn't exist. What exists is God, this planet, and what's outside. Of course, my computer exists, I exist, this microphone exists, your book exists, but you get what I'm saying. There's a bunch of fake stuff that they're peddling to get you scared and to get you to stay inside and lock your doors and be in a 5x5 bunker. You know, not 5x5, but, you know, be in a one-room bunker and just kill yourself. Come on, let's not do that. And if you want to play RFactor 2, go ahead and download it. Play it. It's cheap off the Steam store. There's a lot of extra content for the game, tracks and cars and mods that could make it or break it. So I just want to say, just go outside once in a while. It's not going to hurt you to go outside. And if you see something that's wrong, if you see something wrong, if you see some person doing an evil act, committing an evil act, doing something evil, something bad, then punish him. Don't call the cops. Don't wait for the government to do something. Take care of it yourself. This is a community. This planet is a community, and we need to basically do what's right. We need to give justice. We need to serve up a plate of bullets. We need to serve up some spankings to the people that need it, absolutely need it, and deserve it. Doesn't matter if it's Bill Gates or your next door neighbor. And stop sinning. And I'm not just talking to you guys, I'm talking to myself too. We need to stop sinning. We need to obey God's word. We need to listen to God. I need to refine my Bible because we're still unpacking stuff here. But, listen to God. Do as he says. Don't ignore him. And there's no escaping him. There's no escaping God. And by the way, all of us on this planet, we believe in God. All of us. It's just that different people have a different interpretation of what he looks like, what his name is, where he comes from. But it's the same exact God. Your religion does not matter. All religions worship the same exact deity, the exact God, the same exact God. All of them, ancient or modern, yesterday, today, or tomorrow. We're all a part of God. I just want to leave you with that. Make the world a better place for yourself and for the next generations to come. I'll say this. Let's especially do it for the children. And please, would you make more children? I don't care who you are on this planet. I don't care what race you are. I don't give a shit about your color, all that. Would you please make more children? I want this whole planet to make more children. I want everybody to have 5 or more kids. And if you can't have kids because God said, hey, I created you, but I created you so you can't have kids, I understand that. Then go adopt a kid. Maybe, because there's plenty of kids out there who their parents died, both of them. And their family relatives maybe aren't available. Or they died, or whatever. They just don't have anyone. I know you get all these complications with adopting another child, but you can still raise it. Doesn't mean you can't raise it. You can raise it right. And raise your children right. Don't raise them wrong. Don't let them be willy-nilly. Don't let them do whatever. Because that entitles, I'm just going to let you do evil things too. No, if they start acting bad, you need to punish them severely. And yes, I use the word severely. I would like everyone on this planet to start having kids. A lot of them. 5 or more. Not 1. Not 2. 5 or more. Not 3. Have 5 or more. I don't care what race you are. I don't care where you are on this planet. Stop listening to the bullshit that is being spun around the world 24/7. Stop listening to the girls who say, oh, I don't want kids. Fucking go over there and say, no, you're having a kid, whether you like it or not, and you're having 5. You don't have anything to do but have kids. You don't have anything more important than making kids. Women are supposed to make kids. They're not supposed to be on TikTok. They're not supposed to be on some porn website doing some shit. They're not supposed to be... They're just supposed to be making kids, first of all. Then they are supposed to clean the house, take care of the kids, cook the food, garden, go grocery shopping to buy food, like to buy ingredients to cook with. Do the accounting and the taxes. They're not supposed to be working a 9-to-5 job in a suit, a business suit, try to one-up a man, or do bodybuilding or sports. That's all men's stuff. I'm putting this out there. I'm getting sick and tired of this planet. I think it's about damn time that this whole entire planet gets its act together. I have behind me, I'm not scared of anything. And I'm going to say that. And then I'm going to say, with one exception. And right now I'm kind of boiling inside. So, I read an article not too long ago. I still have it on my phone. I don't think I even read the whole article. Maybe I did. But the article was talking about the singularity. And they mentioned a book that I actually have by Ray Kurzweil. I haven't read it yet because I'm still reading a bunch of other books. But his book is called The Singularity is Near. I couldn't sleep. I woke up at night. I couldn't sleep. I came into my office, gaming room, whatever, and I looked at the shelf where the book was, and it freaked me out. And it freaked me out like it's freaking me out right now. It got me scared because, I started tearing up and I almost couldn't speak about it. It freaked me out. It scared me because, and like I said, I'm not scared of anything. God says not to have fear, but fear of Him, Not to have fear, but fear of itself. However it says, but however the saying goes. God says basically not to have fear at all, have any type of fear. But this, see, the singularity could come if we let it happen. In the article, they were saying that the singularity is coming. Well, let's just say this. The article basically stated that Ray Kurzweil was absolutely right, that we are on course to the singularity. They explained why. I'll link the article up on my YouTube channel, or I'll try to find it on my phone, and then I'll do a video about it on my computer. But I have the book, The Singularity is Near by Ray Kurzweil. I don't know what that... I know what the singularity is about, somewhat. When I read his book, I know what the singularity is about, somewhat. I don't know what he's written in this book, but I know for a fact, based off of some people who've read his book before me, Days of Noah being one of them, they said it's a heavy book. It's a book that everybody should read. Even though and for someone who hasn't read it yet, I totally agree. I think every human being should read that book, because Ray Kurzweil is the most fucked up person that has ever existed. He's the most fucked up human that has ever existed. He's still alive. He is. I don't know how he must be the devil's right-hand man. He must be the devil's right hand. He must be like the devil's right hand. Because the singularity is a place where there's no more humans. Humans do not exist. We are gone, eradicated. So when I tell you guys to go outside, when I tell you guys to not use your computer and not use your cell phone as much, I mean, do you see me posting videos every day? If people posted stuff on the internet like I did, meaning however many times I do out of the year, like if people went 3 years without posting and then they came back and posted, because I did that for a while. If people were like me and they were actually doing other things, like outside, doing other things, cooking, cleaning the house, this world would be a different place. People wouldn't be on the internet as much. They wouldn't watch TV as much. They wouldn't be on the radios. Sure, we'd still be listening to music, but how much music would be out there? If people made only 5 songs every 3 years. You see what I'm saying? Once I'm done with the book, The Singularity is Near, I'm going to let you guys know about it. We're going to talk about it. I think it's about time to talk about the singularity. Forget transhumanism. Transhumanism, that's old. We should talk about it because it's before the singularity. But let's talk about the singularity a lot more. Let's bring it to light. Because the more we bring that to light, the more we can go tell those motherfuckers to fuck off. I'm not against video games. I'm not against if someone wants to go shooting. I'm not against, people reading books. I'm against evil things. And when I say I'm not against video games, if somebody wants to go play Minecraft for 2 hours and then go do something else, that's fine. But if someone wants to go sit there day in, day out and play Minecraft and do nothing else in life, I'm not okay with that. It's not is it the video game's fault? No. It's the person that chose to do that. That's whose fault it is. And that person should be punished. Not by taking away their video game, because that's not going to work. There's a lot of other methods that don't hurt. And what I mean by that don't hurt is, to them, they'll say, oh, that hurts. But really it doesn't. Because if you did those things to me, I'd be like, I wouldn't feel it. I would just be like, well, that doesn't hurt at all. You see what I'm saying? So, go outside more. Do a lot more things outside. Start listening to my voice as I tell you to go outside. Maybe I should post every single day and just tell you to go outside. Maybe I'll just do a bunch of shorts every single day where I just tell you, hey, go outside, go outside, go outside, go outside, go outside, go outside. Leave your phone at home, leave your phone at home, leave your phone at home, leave your phone at home. You see what I'm saying? Alrighty. I'm out of here. You guys take care. And may God bless you all. I'm serious. Bar as a Candy Kid, signing out. Peace, peace, and blessings to you all. Amen.